How's it going, everyone? ND Sean 45 coming at you. Well, the college football postseason, both the playoffs and the rest of the bowl games, have officially been set, as we all saw earlier this afternoon. And it is now official that Notre Dame will not be a part of the New Year's Six lineup this year. But of course, most of us Irish fans, we've known for a few weeks now that that likely was going to be the case. With the way the rankings were going and us staying put at 16, not moving up at all, we knew our chances of making one were pretty much slim and none. And, well, of the matchup between slim and none won. But we also had to have a lot of things that needed to happen, and they just didn't. That's just, the way the cookie crumbles. But I can tell you one thing. All of you people who have been screaming for years, oh, Notre Dame gets preferential treatment. Notre Dame gets preferential treatment. Obviously, today proved that that's not the case. I mean, a 10-2 Notre Dame team is not going to a major bowl game. So you can all shut up with that argument now, because it's not applicable here. And it's not the first time this has happened. I mean, we went 10-2 back in the 2002-2003 season, and we only made the Gator Bowl. So this preferential treatment stuff is kind of a myth. But I do also have to say this, and I would be doing this video some injustice if I didn't address the elephant in the room here. And I know the rest of you out there are thinking it too. And if you say that you're not, then I straight up call you a liar. But the fact that the Virginia Cavaliers, that the committee left them in the top 25 just so that they could get that Orange Bowl bid, being the second highest ranked ACC team that didn't get into the playoffs, that's an absolute joke. I mean, a Virginia team that just got spanked by Clemson yesterday in the ACC championship game, and a team that we beat earlier in the season that overall has 4 losses, the fact that they're going to the Orange Bowl is an absolute joke. Okay? It is. And here's the thing. I'm not bad-mouthing the Cavaliers. It's not their fault. This is all on the committee. I mean, that vote and how they voted on that was an absolute joke. A team that gets beat... Well, let's see. What was the final score yesterday? Clemson 62, Virginia 17. Okay, you don't keep that team in the top 25. So it's an absolute joke. And I know a lot of you are going to come at me with the argument, well, Sean, if Notre Dame was just a member of the ACC, then you wouldn't have this problem now, would you? Join a conference, blah, blah, blah. All right, I'll go with that argument. Let's say Notre Dame was in the ACC, and they were in the same position that the Virginia Cavaliers are in right now. Let's say it was us who won the ACC Coastal, or whatever division. And we lost that badly to Clemson in the ACC championship. Same thing. And we were still going to the Orange Bowl. You mean to tell me that none of you would be calling that a joke in that scenario? You damn right you would be calling it a joke. So don't bullshit your way out of this and tell me that you wouldn't. I mean, I'll straight up call you a liar if you do. But no, a 4-loss team should not be going to the Orange Bowl or any major bowl game in general. It's an absolute joke. And of course, I'm not taking any responsibility away from Notre Dame. I mean, like I said in past videos, recent videos actually, we had 2 golden opportunities this season. We couldn't cash it in on the big stage. One of those games we got absolutely embarrassed. So there's responsibility on us too. So it's like another example I gave. It's just like boxing or mixed martial arts. You don't want to let it come down to the judges. So there's responsibility on Notre Dame's part too. If you want to get to the big stage, then you win. Simple as that. But just had to get that out there. Throw it out there for the hell of it. But as it stands, the Irish's bowl destination will be, as most sources predicted, the Camping World Bowl down in Orlando, Florida. I think it's on December 28th, if I'm not mistaken, and it's going to be against the Iowa State Cyclones. Now, myself personally, I think this is going to be an intriguing matchup because Iowa State is not exactly as bad as their 7-5 record indicates. But you know what? I'm not going to preview that game now. It's still a few weeks away yet, but I'll cross that bridge as it gets closer. But being truthful with you guys, which, well, I always am, but does this suck, not being in a major bowl game? Of course it does. I mean, no team starts their season saying, yeah, I want to go to the Camping World Bowl or some other minor bowl game. No, this sucks, but at the same time, this is my team, and I think a time like this is where, you know, a fan's fanhood really gets tested. I mean, no, we didn't get we're not achieving our goals this year, but do you stick with your team or don't you? Myself, I'm a diehard fan, and I'm going to continue to be one. And regardless of the fact that this is a minor bowl game, I'm going to watch this game, I'm going to cheer my guys on, and I'm going to enjoy this game, regardless of the kind of stage that it's on. Because that's what a true fan does. They stick with their team no matter what. I mean, unlike a lot of people that I'm seeing on different message boards and Facebook pages, which I'm just going to straight up say it, and I'm not going to go into a great load of detail here, but the Notre Dame fan base is quickly becoming a joke and an absolute disgrace with some of the things that I'm seeing people read, or that I'm seeing some of people write on these comment sections. It's an absolute joke. But I got another video in store for that. But yeah, guys, despite the fact that this is a minor bowl game that none of us Irish fans wanted, it still is a very valuable game. Mainly because of the fact that it's extra practice time that helps transition over into spring practice and into next season. So even though these minor bowl games don't have the kind of flair that the NY6 does, they're still pretty important games. But that's something else that I wanted to talk about in this video, and I'll try to make it quick because I'm already going past the time that I gave myself or the goal that I had. But who cares, right? These minor bowl games, from the start, I get that a lot of people don't care about them. I mean, really, let's be realistic. Unless your team is playing in some of these smaller bowl games, nobody cares about them. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some minor bowl games that do have some flair to them. In my opinion, you got ones like the Gator Bowl, the Citrus Bowl, the Holiday Bowl, and so on. But despite the fact that, like I just said, unless your team's playing in it, nobody else really cares about it. That's the perception anyway. But this is something that I don't understand with some of these minor bowl games. Why can't they not have a little bit of dignity to them and a little bit of prestige? When they go to name these minor bowl games, because it seems like a different one pops up every year. Why can't the sponsors take a little bit of dignity when naming them? And here's what I'm getting at. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. No, I include the Camping World Bowl that Notre Dame is going to, but other bowl games like the Cheez-It Bowl, for example. Now, here's what I'm talking about, guys. I think these bowl games actually need to have a name to them, all of them. And you're like, well, what are you talking about, Sean? It does have a name. No, I'm talking about the bowl game. The bowl has to have a name. Like, not just what I mean is not just the sponsor. All right, the Cheez-It Bowl should not just be called the Cheez-It Bowl. Now, that game, it's out in Phoenix, right? I think it used to be called the Cactus Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. Why can't it be Cheez-It presents the Cactus Bowl? Like, I'm perfectly fine with the sponsor's name staying in the title. But what I'm saying is the bowl game actually has to be called something, an actual name to it. Some of these bowl games do have it right, like the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Okay, fine, keep the sponsor name in there, but call the bowl something. You know what I mean? Or the Cotton Bowl. It's good, yeah, Goodyear, but it's the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. You see what I'm saying? So have a little dignity and prestige to some of these minor bowl games. Maybe it could generate interest. Who knows? Not likely, but it's possible. But with the Camping World Bowl. And actually, I better bring this up first. I don't know how many of you remember the old TV show Coach. Starring Craig T. Nelson, Jerry Van Dyke, Coach Hayden Fox of the Minnesota Screaming Eagles. That TV show had more original bowl names. I think there was there was the Patriot Bowl, there was the Pioneer Bowl, the Pineapple Bowl. I'm noticing a P theme with that show. But anyway, like, that would be perfect for the Camping World Bowl that Notre Dame's going to. Why not call, it's in Orlando, it's in a warm climate. Why not call that the Camping World Pineapple Bowl? Give it some kind of flair, something that sounds kind of traditional. Like I said, some dignity, some pride to it. Not just the sponsor. The sponsor is just boring. Give it some tradition. Just a little bit. Or hell, something else I should probably throw in there too is a couple of bowl games that I thought of. Well, actually, I can't take credit for all of this. One of my viewers, I forget which one, thought of the same thing, but there's two that I think could be perfect. I think Wrigley Field. I think they've redone that. I think they've redone it enough to where they could start having football games in there. Have one at Wrigley Field and call it the Ivy Bowl. And take your pick on the sponsor, or you could just say the Chicago Cubs present the Ivy Bowl. You gotta have a better sponsor. But or another one that me and another viewer thought that was pretty cool was have one in Notre Dame Stadium and call it the Shamrock Bowl. There you go. Under Armour presents the Shamrock Bowl from Notre Dame Stadium. Now, when I came up with the idea, I thought have it over in Dublin, Ireland, in Aviva Stadium. Call it the Aviva Shamrock Bowl. But of course, a minor bowl game, they're not going to have it overseas. But yeah, something cool like that. Something with a little bit of dignity and pride to it. Something that could actually develop into some tradition. So, yeah, just keep the sponsors in, but add a little bit of flair and, I can't say it enough, some more dignity to these smaller bowl games. Show these teams that there is something there to play for. It would actually be an honor to have it in your trophy case, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, I've gone way too long in this video. I just wanted to throw all that in there because I had so much on my mind from today and all those different things. But yeah, it is what it is. Irish are going to the Camping World Bowl, but I'd still like to call it something else, like the Camping World Pineapple Bowl. I like that. That has a nice ring to it. So anyway, just go ahead and add your thoughts, guys. That's all I have for you. Zendy Sean 45 signing off. God bless. Go Irish.